What is a professional house cleaner? Yay, I get to answer this question today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a resource hub for all different kinds of things that you need, whether you're a do-it-yourself cleaner or you're a professional house cleaner. So there are books and resources and podcasts. There are things for company uniforms and different cleaning products and a whole bunch of videos and a bunch of other fun stuff. So check it out at mycleaningconnection.com. All right, on to today's show, which comes from a bunch of people that are trying to get into a professional house cleaners group that I run on Facebook. And one of the questions is, are you a professional house cleaner? And every day there are a bunch of people that contact me and they say, what is a professional house cleaner? Now, I've had emails and I've had people call into the show, and there seems to be some confusion about what a professional house cleaner is. So I get to answer the question today. What is a professional house cleaner? Alrighty, well, that's a fair question because there are a lot of people who exchange money for house cleaning and they are not professional. I know, it's really awful. They're just out there winging it. And some of them aren't insured. Some of them don't have real businesses. Some of them don't have real email accounts. I mean, it's really peculiar how so many people are out there and they are cleaning houses and they have no idea what they're doing and they don't have a business. All right, so what is a professional house cleaner? A professional house cleaner is a person who has decided that they're going to run a cleaning business. And so they have a business plan and they have business marketing materials which say, I have a business, here's how you get in touch with me. And they have a website, they may have email, they may have a Facebook account, they have social media, they have social proof, they have testimonials, or they have referrals. They might be on a variety of different platforms like Facebook where they belong to different Facebook groups. But the big thing here is, do they exchange money for house cleaning? Okay, so there's an exchange. They're not cleaning for free. They're not a charity. This is not cleaning at home for mom and dad. These are people who have clients and customers. Now, some people call them accounts, and some people call them customers, and some people call them clients, and some people call them homeowners. So it really depends on what you want to call them. It's all the same. I prefer to call them clients because, you know, when you have an attorney, they call their customers clients. And so with clients comes a little bit higher level of respect. Like, these are people who have hired me because they respect me and my opinions. And because even though I'm a house cleaner, I have opinions and I have training and I have a particular style of what I do. These are my clients. So it puts you in the frame of mind of treating them with the same respect that they treat you. Now, treating them with respect also means you have to treat yourself with respect. There are a lot of house cleaners out there, and I don't think they're professionals because, number one, they don't respect themselves. And if you don't respect yourself first, it's not likely you're going to respect your customers and clients. And so where is your standard of excellence and where are your rules? And so every business must have rules. And if you have no rules, you are not professional. Because every business, even if you work down at a fast food chain, they have a whole list of rules on the walls. And one of the rules might be you must wash your hands after you use the restroom before you start cooking anything else again. That would be a rule that is posted on the wall. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter where you work. If you have a business, you must have rules. Now you must follow those rules. So you might have a business and you might clean houses and you might even exchange money for the cleaning of houses. But if you don't follow the rules that you have created, you're not a professional. We all know that professionals set rules and they follow the rules. And then, oh my goodness, you're not going to believe this, but check this out. They get a very specific set of returned results. If I do this, here's what happens. And so if you don't do this, which is following the rules that you have created, you can't count on the results. And it's a no-brainer, okay? I'm not making this stuff up. But if you don't have rules in place and you don't follow those rules and you don't follow them consistently, your results are going to be scattered. They're going to be all over the place. Now, I want to talk really quickly about gambling addictions. And you're like, what? This has nothing to do with house cleaning, and yet it does. When you gamble, it's a very interesting study. If every time you made a bet, you won, it would become very predictable, right? And so the gambling system is set up, that all the slot machines across the country are set up for intermittent wins. What that means is sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And when you lose, you're like, whoa, what do you mean I lost? I should win. And so then you do it again. And because you do it again, and then you lose again, you're like, well, what do you mean? I got to get that money back. So then you do it again, hoping for that win. But if you won every time, you could stop at any time because you would know that you would win at any time. So the intermittent wins are what keeps you going, okay? Now in house cleaning, people that don't have a business plan and they don't have rules and regulations in place, and they're not doing something on a consistent basis with consistent results, they're setting their business up for the intermittent win, which makes them work really hard for the same results. And it makes it really hard for the moments where, like when you're gambling and you're on the downside and you're losing money like crazy, and the only thing that you feel like you can do is just keep playing and trying to stay in the game, and you end up hawking everything that you own in order to stay in the game to survive. If I could just get back to zero, if I could just get back what I've lost, and you end up working so hard, okay? Set your business up for the regular win. Who wants an intermittent win? And I know so many house cleaners that just love the thrill of not knowing if they're going to make any money from month to month. And they have no rules and regulations in place, and they're not professionals. They're hobbyists. Here's how it works. If you have a business costs money to run, but they earn money in return. I give you a little bit, you give me something back. I pay for marketing, I get a response, or I get a return on my investment with people hiring me. I do consistent results. I have consistent training. I hire people. I get consistent results. So you put something in, you get something back. With a hobby, it's different. You dump a lot in. You buy supplies, or you buy things or decorations or whatever it is you do for your hobby. And then what happens? It just sits on a shelf, or it gets displayed. Maybe somebody buys it, whatever. But it's not a regular win, right? It's not a business. It's an intermittent win. It may bring you something, it may not. Hobbies cost you money, businesses make you money. And so if you're setting your business up for the intermittent win, you're not a professional. That's not how professional organizations or businesses run. And I'm not knocking the gambling industry, because that is a very specific industry set up to take your money. The gambling institutions are not set up for you to get rich. They are not designed that way. It is a business where they win, okay? So for your business, if you're going to survive as a house cleaner, and if you are a professional, you have to have rules in place, and you have to follow your rules, and you have to respect yourself, and you have to respect your clients, and you have to provide consistent results every single time so that you get consistent results coming back to you every single time. That is a sign of a true professional. Now, beyond that, there are things that will elevate you above all of your competition. And I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out what those things are. There are about 5 or 10 things, and they are small things. Things like returning phone calls and returning emails instead of just texting your customers. There are a few things that you can do that will just raise you so far above your competition. And I'm going to leave that to you. But the answer is this. A professional is somebody who's here for the long haul. This is not just, I'm going to make a few bucks on the side until I get a real job. That's fine if that's how you're in the business, but you're not a true professional. You're a hobbyist. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.